Hey everyone, welcome to the Mind Body Soul Evolution. Welcome back if you are a follower of my channel, and welcome if you are new. My name is Debbie and we are pulling our tarot and oracle cards for the spring equinox. So that's just a couple days away. I'm filming this on the 17th, St. Patrick's Day, Monday the 17th. But we're in the middle still of the eclipses, right? We just had the full moon lunar eclipse, a complete lunar eclipse, and we are having a partial solar eclipse on the 29th, I believe it is. We have two personal planets in retrograde, Venus and Mercury. So we're kind of in this in-between phase. But I found this card from when I went to a retreat, a yoga retreat in Thailand, about 2019. So it was like 6 years ago. And it says, and I felt this was really, really fitting for this phase we're coming into. And it says, and suddenly you just know. It's time to start something new and trust the magic of new beginnings. So the spring equinox is the portal or the gateway or the doorway for the Zodiacal New Year. Right? The Gregorian calendar, we celebrate December 31st is New Year's Eve. January 1st starts the new year. In astrology, Pisces is the end. March 19th would be the last day of the zodiac calendar, and March 20th would be the first day of the zodiac new year. So if you're setting your intentions, if you follow the energy of the zodiac calendar, and if that makes more sense to you, then I invite you to treat this as your new year. Or you can go back to any resolutions you set in January, reflect on them. We're in a retrograde phase. So retrograde starts, the things we look at in retrograde usually starts with the letters RE. So reflection, renew, reassess, right? So if you have, I'm sorry, that's my cat. She's knocking the table. If there are some things that weren't working out for you, if you set resolutions for in January, is to reassess them. And sometimes maybe we have to take some and weed them out and bring new things in. So this is a great time to reflect on where you want to go. Now, we're still in Mercury retrograde and eclipses, and personally, I do not set big intentions, or I don't do any ritual work around it, and I generally do not manifest, not big manifestations. I will do some mantras, but I won't do, again, any ritual work around it. I will wait until the energy clears out. But if you were born during a retrograde phase, if you were born during eclipse season, if you were born during an equinox, with some of the stuff happening, it might be a really good time for you to manifest, right? So, but these are the parameters that I go along. So I just want to make sure I have everything that I want to talk about. I have some talking points here. So today's the 17th. We only have a couple more days of Pisces, right? So we're closing out the zodiac calendar, moving in on the 20th to the new year in the zodiac. So Pisces, right, ruled by Neptune. It's about dreams. It's about like going off into fantasy land and just kind of sitting in that space and letting those things grow. Now we're coming into Aries. Aries, as the first sign of the zodiac, is also a fire sign. It is the trailblazer. Aries is represented by the ram's head, and they tend to not make plans, but just to forge ahead, to take things head on and kind of charge in. But with Mercury retrograde, we're going to be pulled back a little bit. Like, we have all these dreams we've been thinking about and feeling in Pisces, and now with the energy of the fire of Aries, we're ready to put them into play. And Mercury is saying, hold on, back up, have a plan, get a plan in place. move forward a little slower. Be a little more intentional on how you're moving forward with all of this stuff. So let's see what the cards have for us. I have four decks. I have the Moon deck. I have healing cards, which I don't generally use, but I figured it was a good time, and Earth Magic. So we'll pull cards from here, and then I have the Midnight Magic Tarot deck. So let's see what these cards hold for us. How are you doing? How is everyone doing with these eclipses and retrogrades and changes? We finally have a nice spring day here. It's a little warm out today. Oh, sorry. Oh, come on. She's playing on the floor and she's hitting the table. So let's see what these cards are holding for us. We will pull out a healing card. These are beautiful cards, and they are by Carolyn Myss. If you do not know Carolyn Myss, she was a medical, and she started out, I guess, as a medical intuitive. And I just don't even know if I could give her justice describing her. But she has several books, Entering the Castle, about the different realms in the heavens, or the other universes. So if you have not heard of Carolyn Myss, I would look her up. She's she's a wealth of information, and she has a very interesting take or perspective on what happens beyond this world and this life. I have done a lot of studying under her, not under her personally, but with her work. So I would definitely look her up. She's she's really great. And we'll pull a card from Earth Magic, Stephen Farmer. And I'm going with I have the Earth Magic cards and the Magic Mushroom cards. I just feel like I need some grounding with all this stuff happening. So we'll see what's happening. But there's, so if you are feeling a little overwhelmed or things are happening really fast for you, you can always just close your eyes, take a step back, and slow down. But here's the thing. A lot of people are going through expansions and breakthroughs, right? And just before expansion and just before breakthroughs, we tend to feel restricted. We tend to feel restless. We tend to feel frustrated. So if you're feeling any of those things, you're probably on the edge of a breakthrough for yourself. So give yourself some patience, give yourself some compassion, and pull the book out, and this, take a moment, right? During retrograde, we should not be rushing through anything during retrograde anyway. So I'll open up our first cards, and then I will pull our tarot. So this is I am number 8. I am courageous, strong, and steady. And this aligns with the strength card in the tarot, right? Number 8. This is pulling on our inner strength, aligned with the sign of Leo. So I will read this out for you. And the number at the top of this, I don't know if you can see that, is number 8. So if 8 is your number, if you're seeing a lot of 8s around, just take that as a sign for yourself or for a loved one. I think I said this before. My son-in-law was born on the Lion's Gate. His birthday is 8/8. So yeah. It's a really great number. It's also, sideways is the infinity symbol. So there may be some infinite breakthroughs happening for you that are completely taking you from where you're at to a brand new place that is more aligned with who you're meant to be. But let's see what this says. I am courageous, steady, and strong. When we awaken to the power of our own courage and strength, we're more in tune with our purpose. We feel freedom and confidence in our voice, allowing very little to deviate our mission. Lions carry a regal beauty combined with resilient power. They're excellent hunters who have learned the art of patience and timing with an ability to overcome challenges. Lion is here to remind you that you are a rare and powerful beauty, capable of achieving anything you choose with strong and steady courage. This may also be a call to embody a specific role of leadership in your life. Pause to feel what is true for you. Whenever you lack courage or feel emotionally depleted, channel the mighty regal lion to regain your deep inner roar. So I do a reading, Meet Your Spirit Guides. And one of those cards that I pull is an animal guide. And a friend of mine will do a portrait of the animal spirit if you want. So if this is calling to you, this might be something you want to look into. And this goes very much in line with this card that I pulled out at the very beginning. Something new, and it's time to start something new. Trust in the process, right? We're moving into our inner strength, our inner power. We are no longer going to be sitting on the sidelines of life, but we're going to start embracing life for what it holds for us, even in the midst of chaos. The healing card, friendliness. So the number on the bottom of this card is number 5. 5 in tarot is generally the transitional point. That's the point where you make your decision, which way are you going to go. I know 2s can also be, 2s can represent a choice. 5s represent the actual turning point in the minor arcana. This says friendliness. Friendliness, compassion, and delight cultivate a calm mind. Now look at the sun here over them and just kind of illuminates with this Leo card, the strength card. And on the back, I'll read the back for you. And it says, practice the healing power of a compassionate mind. Open your heart to other people without judgment and radiate the message of delight at having them in your life. So gratitude, appreciation. I talk about this all the time in my yoga classes. We have DNA and karma. Let me get the book out and we'll see what this is all about. This is really interesting because this card was on the bottom of the deck. It was the root card of the deck, but I did shuffle the cards, and this is the card that wanted to come out. So let's see if I can find it in here. Okay. Karma, a concept in many Eastern religions, is a Sanskrit word implying the greater universal laws of cause and effect, providing an implied code of ethics within the structure of the seemingly endless cycles of birth, death, and rebirth, which we experience throughout our lives, right? We go through many cycles in our lives. In many different versions, the mistaken notion about karma is that it's some kind of punishment. And this is true, and it is not. It is far from that. In fact, in its purest form, it simply asserts that our conduct in this lifetime will determine our next incarnation. It has also come to mean how our behavior and actions in this lifetime create consequences in a slightly different version of the golden rule. So this is like attracts like. Whatever energy you put out is the energy you get back. And I'm going to talk about that before I pull our tarot cards. We not only carry our soul's karma into this lifetime, but also embedded in the complex coding of our DNA is our genetic ancestral karma. The double helix structure of DNA contains codes that have been passed down from our parents and grandparents as well as our ancestors. Therefore, we have some of the same genetic information that comes from the DNA of very early humans. In this card, we see the two intertwined serpents with a double helixes on either side. Variations of this archetype image exist in many cultures, both traditional and contemporary. It's a graphic representation of the most ancient ancestry we can lay claim to. Our DNA, the fundamental substance of life itself that provides substantial determination of our life path. And there's a lot more. I'm not going to read the rest of it. So what you do, a lot of times, and I see this all the time, people say karma will get you, or karma's a bitch, and that's karma is your lessons. And if you learn from your lessons and you don't keep repeating the same behavior and you start to evolve, then your next incarnation, whatever that may be for you, will be one of a higher self. We're all ascending. Carolyn Myss actually talks about this in her book, Entering the Castle. And I'm looking over there because I have the book right over there. Hold on 1 second. Let me just pull it out. Watch out, Ella. Just so that you know. And there are different levels. And we come to this human experience lifetime after lifetime, and each time we evolve to our higher consciousness or awareness of the divine universe. And when we learn those lessons, some people are not learning them, right? But when we learn them, and it takes a while, it's not instant. When we learn them, then we go on to the next level, and when the physical body passes, and that just means it releases the soul. The physical body dies, but we never die. Our soul goes on to its next incarnation. Depending on what your contracts are, there are spiritual contracts that we all have, and I will make a separate video about that. Let me go on to the next thing. So karma is about what you do here, what you learn, and to wish someone that karma is going to get them is really not a good thing to do. That's holding you back from your personal growth, and it's keeping you small, and it's keeping you out of alignment with your soul. So just think about that next time somebody does something to you or irritates you, right? So strength, friendliness, compassion. And when we start to cultivate these things, we start to align with ourselves. And then we go on to our next incarnations and our next ones and our next ones. Free of this human condition. And this is ultimately, we evolve to the point where we no longer come back in this human experience. We go to other experiences. So much for that. Let's pull out our tarot cards. And this is the Midnight Magic deck. If I remember, I will put it in the notes section right away. I love this deck. It's a beautiful deck. It's beautifully done. And it's pretty direct and to the point usually. So let's see. Very interesting. And even like the double helix here, right? Almost looks like the intertwining of the braids of these two. Just saying, just making an observation. So maybe sometimes we look a little deeper into something. We don't just see like, looks like two girls with their heads together, but we also see like the dark and the light, right? And then that also represents a balance, intertwined together. The equinox is associated, it can line up with the sign of Libra, the balancing scales. There is balance. There is a equal time of daylight and night time. right? So there's also balance that comes here as well. Kundalini yoga uses this a lot. The Shiva, they call it the Shiva Shakti, the male-female energy that runs up the Sushumna or the spinal column. Intertwining, meeting it at various intersections of the chakras, making its way, finding balance and harmony. So there's a lot that comes in these cards, right? Not necessarily just what you see for face value. So if you're starting to learn to read cards, or if you have some decks, I would invite you to go with the book meaning, because the creator, the artist, the writer, the author, they have intended that to be read a certain way. But you also want to use your own intuition and lean into that and just notice some things. When I teach a tarot course, there's a lot involved. So we don't get everything right away. Because there's, you can break down these pictures on these cards very, very minutely. And the thing is, what they mean in one reading, they can mean something completely different in another reading, depending on the cards that come around, that come out with them. So let's just see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if any other cards want to come out. I'll see if we can get a 7th card to come out. And yes, this change, this turning point, this softening of the winter earth, right? Coming into the warmth of the spring. This is just, yeah, things are starting to soften. Things are starting to feel good. There's the sunlight on your skin. We just had our daylight savings time. Yes. So it feels good, right? So we have, let's pull all of these cards. We have the Knight of Wands, 9 of Pentacles, King of Swords, the Hanged Man, Wheel of Fortune, 2 major arcanas, 6 of Wands, Page of Cups. Whew. So let's go into this. So the Knight of Wands, 9 of Pentacles. We've been working, a lot of you have been working really hard, and you really have this burning desire to move into something new. I'm sorry, my phone is going off. I don't know what that's about. To move into something new. And as you move into Aries season, right, that's a fire sign. Wands are associated with the element of fire. We want to move quickly, right? We want to get there because there's reward. We are finally getting to the point where we can take a breath, where we can be really comfortable, where we can kind of sit back and look at the result of everything that we have been doing. And we're starting to feel this sense of lightness and of happiness. We have our Knight of Swords. However, we're going to slow down a little bit, right? Because our Knight of Swords, knights are associated with the element of fire. When you get to the court cards in the major arcana, you have duality. Knights are associated with the element of fire, and swords is associated with the element of logic, air and logic. So we have a propensity, once we start to see the progress of everything we've done, we just want to learn more, right? We just want to take in as much as we can because we can feel our growth. We can feel our expansion. And we're just excited to start this new chapter. However, the Hanged Man comes in and says, hold on, just take a breath. Don't skip over what it takes to get you where you're going. Many times in life, we're not in the moment. We are on to the next thing, which sometimes the Knight of Swords can be on to the next thing. But we want to know what it took to get us there so we can appreciate our journey. So we're not sitting in the belly of unfinished karma. So we can actually have a little compassion, right? We're using our strength definitely to move forward, but we're doing it in a kind, considerate way. So this retrograde in Mercury, as we go into Aries, is like, take a step back, take a moment, breathe in this change. For some of you, this is going to be a quantum change in your life. It's going to be big. And for some of you, it might be a little more than what you had anticipated, or maybe even a little more than you thought you could handle. So the Hanged One is saying, hold on, take a moment. Let's lean in a little bit. And in the traditional tarot, the hanged person, if they're literally hanging from a tree, it is the tree of life, right? It is the tree of life. And the energy is going from, because they're hanging from their foot, and the head is towards the earth, but the energy is going to the crown chakra. So lean into the guidance, lean into the infinite, lean into the divine within you that is giving you the inspiration to move and to learn. But remember where that's coming from. Because everything that we have and everything that we do, we think it's ours, but it's from outside sources. When you see people who do things out of amazing feats, like they just run and jump into a car that's burning and pull people out, or they do some heroic feats and they go, I don't even know how I did it. They're being guided. They're being used as a catalyst or a tool from the other side to do these things. So let's not think that we are the ones doing our thing, but we are tools in this world that the divine universe uses to help perpetuate these things. So we are moving forward in compassion and calmness. We are accepting people, right? And we are grateful for the people in our lives that cross our path, even if they are difficult. And we all have our own barrel or collection of difficult folks. But they're all here to teach us. So let's not forget where we're getting this inspiration from. And for a lot of us, this is going to be a turning point. We're going to have that realization like, oh my goodness. Wow, I have this so much, oh, come on. We were told by this card, you have a lot of strength and power within you. Yes, don't forget where that's coming from. And we're going to have this awareness that we are not doing this life alone. We have the whole support of the universal divine sources, whatever you want to call it. And once you realize that, then anything is possible for you. Then Six of Wands, right? And the traditional tarot, if it's somebody on a horse and they're being recognized, and there's a laurel wreath on one, usually maybe around their head, I forget, but definitely on one of the rods or one of the wands. And it's like, this is recognition, and this is victory, but this can be in a really reflective victory. You're getting it. You're getting it. You're paying attention to the signs that are coming your way, and maybe they feel like a tornado blowing you all over the place, but you're getting it. You're taking a moment, you're pausing, you're breathing. You're reflecting in the bounty that is yours, because you've decided to acknowledge that it's not only you doing it, that you have this whole supportive spirit team around you. You're leaning into your intuition. Page of Cups. Pages are the messengers. Pages are associated with the element of earth. It's a very grounded energy. We are learning compassion. We are learning love. We are learning to embrace the simple things. We are learning to tune into our intuition, which does not come from us, but comes from outside of us. There's a lot of big aha moments coming in during this time. And some of it can be frustrating. I just went through my own personal frustration. But sometimes you just have to surrender and say, look, I got this. And whatever this is, I'm just going to take a moment. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to see what the world is bringing me. And then the page, the messenger shows up and says, we are showing you love. We are showing you the information, your inner compass, your intuition. We're showing you that it comes from a source much greater than you. And when you recognize that, then you can embrace what it took to get you there. There's a big shift, a big turning point. The Wheel of Fortune. And here's the thing. The wheel can turn you, or you can steer the wheel. And it's your choice. It's completely your choice. If you're sitting in the ego, the third chakra, for the ego space, and you're blaming everything and everyone, instead of taking ownership, then the wheel is going to throw you around and take you on a wild ride that you're not going to like. If you start to lean in and realize where everything is coming from, something much higher than you, then you get to turn the wheel. Then the universe, the divine, God, source, whatever it is you want to call it, says, okay, now I trust you to drive the wheel, because you are now driving in alignment with me, which is in alignment with your soul, which is in alignment with your calling. It's a lot. It's a lot, and it's all good. And if you're resisting any of this, I resisted this stuff for a long time until I found yoga. And and it still happens. And suddenly you just know. It's time to start something new and trust in the magic of new beginnings. This deck is the Magic Midnight. The new beginning is your awakening and awareness to who you are and to the greater elements out there. It is much greater than us. I would get the Carolyn Mist book. Where did I put that? Entering the Castle. I don't know if it's available. No, personally, I will look on YouTube and see if books are available for free. The audiobook is available for free. So that's where I start. I don't know if it's available on YouTube for the free audio. I'm sure you can download an audio version. Or you can buy the book. If this is resonating with you. If not, then go to what is resonating with you. So with all of this, if you're feeling a little confused, this is my notebook making noise. If you're feeling a little confused, a little uncertain, or you're just saying like this is bullshit, right? That's fine. Like, I respect that. But if something is not working in your life, I came on about a month or so ago and I talked about mindfulness. Change your mind, change your future, but it's not quite that simple, and you have to get to the root of where that mindset came from. And that's not always easy to do. So here's something I did. I will show you if I can find it. I did a wallpaper for my phone. And it says, and I just did this on Canva today. Today is going to be a great day. I believe in myself. I am open to receiving abundance. Oh, sorry. So what this is your mind, little Joe Dispenza talk here. Your mind will look for proof of what you tell it. If you wake up and you say it's going to be a shitty day, your mind is going to look for proof of that. And what is going to happen is if you're going to be not listening to your intuition, but you're going to move right into the things that cause you stress and frustration. If you wake up every morning, that's why I have it on as my screensaver. Because generally we wake up, my alarm is on my phone. I hit the button. The first thing I'm going to see is today is going to be a great day. If you tell yourself something, your mind will look for proof that it exists. So if you tell yourself positive things, if you tell yourself something positive, then your mind is going to look for proof of that positivity. If you tell yourself it's going to be like a shit show of a day, it's going to be a hard day, then things are probably going to fall apart. And this is not easy, but it's possible. So you can put notes on your mirror in the bathroom. You can have notes on your phone. So that's my screensaver. You can have like a note on the dashboard of your car. Now, I'm not a big manifester. During eclipses and retrogrades, it throws everything off. But you can start to forge a few mantras or intentions. I don't do anything mystical around it, but I do start to repeat them to myself. And then once the air starts to clear and everything starts moving forward, we will start to see and feel the shift of the energies. But again, whatever you tell your mind, it's going to look for proof of that. And even if you don't believe it, start off with something small like gratitude. I always lead my yoga classes with gratitude, and we end in gratitude. My morning starts off in gratitude. I'm grateful I woke up. I'm grateful I have another day in this world to make a difference, to enhance my life, to enhance the people around me, to create a great yoga class so people feel their own self-empowerment. That I can, in that class, create a community of friendship and compassion and open-mindedness and open our hearts to those around us. So even if you're going through hell, and a lot of people are, and I've been there, and I've been in and out of it. But the more you do it, the easier it is to remember. So if you have trouble remembering, make a screensaver for your phone. I did it on Canva. Or put reminders on your phone. So like, if you have a reminder, like you have a doctor's appointment to be somewhere, put a same reminder on your phone that says, whatever it is you're looking to create. If I'm open to abundance, right? I am offers of a new job that is perfect for me or coming in, and today is going to be a beautiful day, or whatever it is that you're looking to create. Make those, put them so they happen for you. So they happen automatically. And then they'll pop up and then you'll see them. And you just take a second and just say that to yourself. And it will start to become part of your reality. Leave yourself notes, because your mind will look for proof of whatever it is you tell it. And just see what happens, right? Trust in the magic of new beginnings. It's time to start something new. This is the new year. Technically, astrologically, energetically, this is the new year. Tap into that for yourself. Once the retrogrades are done and the eclipses are done, in the middle of April, you can go full on manifest, right? But start small. And even if you don't believe it, that's okay. That's okay. You have to give yourself permission to not believe it. You have to give yourself permission to take your time. You have to give yourself permission to be the hanged one. Where'd the card go? The hanged man, and just contemplate. Let the energy go to your crown chakra. Let this open. I live in my upper chakras. Most people live in their lower chakras. Me, lower chakra is a little boring for me, but I still need them. They keep me grounded and anchored. But if you're having trouble, just take a moment. Or maybe lay on your bed and either lay forward or lay back and let your head, just hang off. And just let the energy go to the crown of the head. Move your body. Do a yoga practice. Either I have a couple on here, or just move your body. Get the energy that's stuck within your muscles, within your tissue, within your DNA, right? Do you want to carry that DNA? If it's holding you back or making you feel small or insignificant or sad or hurt, do you want to carry that into the next life, or do you want to move it through? And you can move it through. It is your choice. There's a lot happening. Take your time, breathe through it, and know that you are always supported. You're always supported. If you would like to schedule a reading with me, I do a general reading. I have a Meet Your Spirit Guides. We work through, I also have a shadow work reading. If you're feeling like you're really stuck in something and you just can't pull yourself out. So I'm going to pull one more card from the Divine Abundance deck. I'll pull one more to close this off. Yeah, and give yourself compassion, right? This card talks about friendliness, compassion, cultivating compassion, but also, give compassion to yourself as well. Open your heart and mind to yourself. Maybe let go of some of the judgments that have been there. I did not check the root of the deck. Queen of Wands. There we go. This is where we're going. Queen of Wands, right? Self-sufficient, self-made, passionate, right? She is passionate about life. She has got an energy. Queen of Wands was our first card and our last card. And our first card was, where is it at? Knight of Wands. Beginning and ending in passion. Started off completely in Leo, fire sign. There's a lot of passion here. There's a lot of energy. You're meant to find your passion. You're meant to have that energy. You're meant to have that abundance. You are meant to take your karmic lessons, learn from them, and then move on. So let's just see. The Divine Abundance deck. Let's close this off with this. I love the Queen of Wands. She's very relaxed. She's chill. She is the hostess with the mostest. That's the party you want to go to. You want to go to the party that the Queen of Wands is hosting. That's the party you want to go to. Love. Here it is. Right here. Right here. Divine source is the idea that no person, place, or thing is your salvation, only love itself. With the lotus flower, this is it. Have the courage and strength to lean into love. Have the courage and the strength to love yourself. And to let God, Source, Divine Universe be part of your life. This is it. Love, right here. Matches my shirt. That is your reading for the spring equinox. If you have gotten anything out of this, if this is resonating with you, please hit the like button or the follow or whatever it is. If you have any comments or questions, put them in the comment section. If you would like to book a reading with me, I will try and remember to put my email down into the description. I will be back. I'll be posting another video breaking down the individual signs for this equinox, because it's a 3-month span, right? It's 3 months. So I'm going to, last video I did it in the same video. I'm going to break that out into a separate video. It's going to be longer. So we will have a reading for each sign of the zodiac wheel. Okay, everyone, happy Zodiacal New Year, happy equinox, happy retrograde, and until next time, I send you light and love from my soul to yours, and I'll see you in the next reading.